Jonathan in Alabama to just talk a little bit about how to do this, what we're talking about here right now. Jonathan, tell us what's on your mind.
Hi there. Well, I'm just thinking, I had just planned on getting back into dating right as this COVID situation just opened wide up. So, put that on hold, had a dating profile set up, but I am not seeing anybody in person right now because
Sure.
I don't want to kill anybody.
That's a good reason.
It's a nice dating value. Yeah. Like, we encourage everybody to be sex positive in their relationships, to be consent noting, and to not kill anybody.
Yeah, safe, sane, consensual.
Yeah. Safe, sane, and consensual.
So yeah, this is definitely a tricky time to be trying to explore yourself.
Yeah. Well, there are so many aspects of sexuality. It seems you don't know what you're going to want out of it until you're with another person. And, it's been about 10 years for me since I was emotionally and physically involved with anyone.
Yeah.
So,
well, I have to note that you're definitely not alone. So much so that in not next week, but the week after, on the 20th, Grace Wood is going to come back on the show to talk to us about how to deal with dating during this crisis, how to figure out dating apps and safety and things along those lines. So this is a very real struggle that a lot of folks are experiencing. And I might reference her blog post on this topic, which I'll make sure are in the show notes of this episode. It sets up as kind of a good required reading for the episode we're doing in a few weeks. In the meantime, y'all, I mean, there's obviously a lot of solo play and different ways to explore. What comes to mind to you two?
I'm just thinking of an episode we had with Saint Eve the other week, where she is a cam girl. And she has a lot of interactions with...
Back next week.
Oh, perfect. Wonderful. So excited. So another option would be connecting with people online, and whether that's somebody who is offering services that you want to take advantage of, or if it's somebody you're meeting for dates. And that could be an option as well to start playing around with that. And it might actually be beneficial, not only because you're keeping the other person safe from potentially catching a deadly virus, but also you are in a safe space, right? You're in your home. You can stop at any point. You can, feel each other out, see how comfortable you are, have discussions about what you want to do next in kind of a really controlled, safe space if you want to explore things that maybe would be a little too intense or intimidating face to face.
Yeah. And even as we're talking, I'm realizing it's not just the lack of physical availability that I'm having trouble with. I actually am currently struggling with a whole bunch of emotional shame that was heaped upon me about sexuality as a child in a religious environment. So there's that to struggle with through too. And, it's empowering to say fuck off to people, but it's hard to just do that with your own thoughts, because
for sure
you internalize these after a while. And I'm trying to figure out how to essentially fight my own brain on this.
Yeah, well, we point out on this show that the old axiom about how can anybody ever love you until you learn to love yourself is a lot of bullshit. And I want to be really clear that there is no moment when you'll be ready to date, when you're prepared to date. We were talking earlier about how you don't need to worry where you're going to end up, because ending up's not real. All of that being said, there is some value in taking this opportunity to really explore yourself, to, as V said, explore commodified sex online as an opportunity to check into new things, to do a little bit of healing on yourself, to look at some of that trauma and some of those negative voices and figure out what you might be able to do to either get rid of them or to live with them. And so for those reasons, I always want to encourage you to be considering working with a therapist to ask that question of whether there is some healing from this religious trauma.
Honestly, something that I've personally experienced that's been helping with kind of get through some of my own issues and baggage. It's not quite exactly in the exact same way because I'm thankful that I don't have a very religious upbringing and a lot of the quirks, I will say, associated with that. But I've struggled with being okay with polyamory for a long time, and I started seeing my partner right before quarantine happened. So I was forced to just kind of sit with my own thoughts a lot and kind of sit with these very unpleasant feelings that I had floating around in the back of my mind, these feelings of insufficiency, these feelings of not being enough. Something that helped me a lot, on top of starting to see a therapist, which has been a game changer, is trying to journal pretty much every single day. It's essentially free therapy because you're essentially talking to yourself, and you're able to then later look back and reference, okay, this was a thing that has been a recurring issue that I need to continue to work on, whether it be solo or with a trained professional. That personally has helped me a lot and has helped me grow immensely. And I still have, some learning to do. It's a process. It's not okay, now it's done. But if I hadn't been journaling and writing almost every day, I wouldn't be sitting here with my head screwed on as straight as it is. Using these terms loosely because I'm not straight, as well as also anyone who knows me they can say all right, dude's nuttier than squirrel shit, end of the line. However, honestly, that's something that's helped me a lot. Yes, in different ways, but I think that the same process can help you in the way that you may need.
Yeah.
I'm not a trained professional. I can only speak from experience.
We are strangers on the internet.
Of course.
But
yes.
Yeah.
Strangers on the internet who like to think we know what we're talking about. I'm sure we all do. But taking a look at it, I am in therapy now. I've been in therapy for a while, and definitely to deal with the trauma I've had. It's just up to this point, I haven't discussed sexuality because it hasn't been an issue with me. It's like breaking your leg and then figuring out you scraped your knee like a couple of weeks later.
Looks like you're on to the next chapter of your healing.
Yeah. The example I used to kind of highlight the upbringing I had, I didn't get a sex talk. My dad took me down the street to the cemetery close to our house, and he showed me everybody from his graduating class who died of an STD. And that was my sex talk. And, that doesn't do good things for a
because that's productive
boy.
I just saw a quote
straight up, if I see anybody doing that to a child, I will make them swallow their teeth.
Oh my goodness. I saw a quote from, I think it was Dr. Sprinkle, who we had on the show before, and he said, sex education that only focuses on STDs is like a culinary school that only talks about food poisoning.
Yeah, fair to say.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It's accurate.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you are working on these things, Brad, and that you're ready to open up this next chapter. It can definitely be a long one, but I'm glad that you found the show. I'm glad that you're here because I think that hopefully we can help. Let us know as things start to bubble up. We've got a number of great resources and things we'd be happy to point you towards.
Plus, I love being the center of attention, so that's nice too.
Isn't it fun?
We're all just attention whores. That's fine.
Oh yeah.
Well, we appreciate you. We hope to hear from you again soon.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Anytime.
All right.
Yeah, it just goes to show that we are multifaceted beings. And if your sexuality is not where you wish that it was, maybe focusing on your sexuality is the key. maybe healing from something else is going to actually be what kind of opens that door and gives you the opportunity.
Exactly. Also, I totally thought you said multifaceted beans. And I was like, that's adorable, and I love that. That's so sweet.
Pinto, no, you didn't?